Hey guys, what's going on? Adam Snyder here with the Homemade Entrepreneur. So today I want to talk to you guys about how I sold over $118,000 worth of stuff that I bought from the thrift store. The thrift store, that's just a general term. It could be Salvation Army, Savers, Value Village, Goodwill, obviously Goodwill. Couldn't forget them. There's other ones. There's like St. Vincent Church thrift store. There's you can go to like a retirement home, and almost every single retirement home that I've seen here in Washington State usually is associated with the thrift store in some way. So I go to every thrift store I can go to. Anything that will let me go in and potentially buy something for profit, I'm gonna go in there. That includes some secondhand stores. So the $118,000, that is profit. That is not sales. Okay, let me explain all this stuff up here on the board. Okay, so number one, let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. There's profit everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere you look, there is profit. And this is just on Amazon through Amazon FBA. I'm not talking about stuff that is big and bulky that you can merchant fulfill, such as printers. I do some printers, but if I have to hold on to it because the ranking is not where I like, then I will not buy it. I will pass up on that because I don't have the time or really the desire to merchant fulfill all these items. So it's all FBA, 100% FBA. Okay, I don't want to say 100%, like 98% FBA. The other 2% is merchant fulfilled, but those are mostly hazmat items, things I can't send in, or it's all coming down to Q4 and sending stuff to customers right before Christmas. So just want to leave that there. Books are a great thing to sell. If you are not selling books, you need to start selling books. Books are very profitable. I find books all the time, and not just new books. I find a lot of used books that you can make some good money on. The thing with used books is that they're everywhere. Pawn shops, thrift stores, retail stores, garage sales, probably in your garage or your attic or your basement or some bookshelf that you push over in the corner. You got books in your house, I guarantee it. So books are very profitable. One thing I learned with books, the rankings change very quickly. It can go from a 3.5 million ranked book down to 800,000 and it's selling. So don't count out books just because the rank is not at 100,000 or 50,000 books. Books up to, I've sold a book up to 6.8 million, and it sold within about 2 weeks. There's no guarantee that 6.8 million is gonna sit there for a year. It could sell the next day. Okay, the ranking is just just an arbitrary number that doesn't represents the last time an item sells or the time in between two items, the exact same item selling. So it's just a number. Don't worry about too much. Used electronics. If you have heard me talk about used electronics before, then I sell them all the time. I sell cameras, I sell used phones, sell used calculators, used keyboards. Anything that's used in electronic, I will sit there on my phone, I will type it in manually because there's not a barcode that you can scan. So just know, you type it in manually, you will find something. There's a lot of stuff that thrift stores get that maybe they can't test completely. Maybe it's missing a part and they're selling it for $1.99, but it's a $200 keyboard. It's just missing the piece that plugs into the into your computer. So just know you can make a lot of money, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to be able to test everything you buy. That's one of the keys. That's one thing I learned very quickly. If I can't test it, don't buy it. Clothing. You can read that. It says no clothing. Let me zoom in on that for you. No clothing. Okay? The reason I say no clothing is because clothing at a thrift store usually has a smell to it. You cannot wash something and sell it on Amazon FBA. If you wash it, it's technically used. If you have to pull a tag off, then wash it, it's used. If you pull the tag off, wash it, and you can't put the tag back on, it's used. If it doesn't have a tag, it is used. Okay, no clothing. Don't sell clothing on Amazon. I've seen so many people buy stuff at a thrift store that is clothing, but when you get it, it has that smell. It has that thrift store smell. It's been with so many other things. You know, it smells like mothballs or whatever. Don't buy clothing. One reason why, and so I know there's people out there that buy clothing, sell on Amazon, FBA, from a thrift store or a secondhand store. You know, I'm not saying you're doing things wrong, okay? For me personally, I don't do any clothing because the time that I can spend, you know, that I spend looking for clothing, I could spend that looking for something else. I could go to a Marshall's, a TJ Maxx, a Ross, and find, you know, better clothing, get, you know, not such a good, you know, deal, but I'm gonna find more stuff. And for me, it's all about quantity plus quality, you know, not just getting, you know, paying $1.99 for something and it sells for $34.99. Rather pay, you know, $14.99 and get that same thing, you know, $34.99, but I can buy 10 of them. That's what I like to do. Sporting goods. Sporting goods are something that not a lot of people talk about because it's not something that is, I don't know, maybe there's just not a lot of people, you know, like myself doing it. But I buy a lot of sporting goods. I will buy some mitts, you know, some, you know, baseball stuff, you know, shin guards for soccer, football gloves, you know, padding, just different things like that. I will buy workout equipment. Doesn't really matter what it is, I will buy it. The only thing you need to understand, which I've had happen many times, is I get some mitts back because there are certain mitts that maybe look almost exactly like the one on Amazon, but maybe they changed something in it and I have the older version. Well, you don't know if there's not a barcode. That's one thing I learned very quickly. If I don't know I don't have 100% certainty that that's the exact same item, I won't send it in. But if I already bought it, then I'd still like to sell it because I did put some money into it. So a lot of times I'll just throw something up on eBay and sell it that way. So just keep that in mind. Media. Media is different than books. The reason I say media is different than books, CDs, DVDs, VHS. Those are what I like to go for. Some people do the big 8-track or whatever. I'm not sure if that's what you call it, but the big disc, the records. A lot of people like those, and they do sell some on Amazon. People do go to Amazon, buy records, buy CDs, DVDs, a lot of DVDs actually, and some people will go and buy VHS tapes. I sell a decent amount of VHS tapes. Probably sell maybe 2 a day. So 2 a day, it's not like I'm killing it, but when I get these things for 10 cents a piece or sometimes 5 cents, you can make some good money. So VHS tapes are good. Usually at a Goodwill, I think my Goodwill, well, I know for a fact my Goodwill sells them 10 for $1. 10 for $1. So, you know, see what they sell for. See what you can get them for at your Goodwill, your local thrift store, and see if there's any that are profitable. Used toys. In the very beginning, I was not looking at used toys at all. And the reason I wasn't looking at used toys is because I could get the new version of the toy, you know, in the box, everything, barcode on it, and it would take me less time. But the very first time I decided to do used toys, I think I was on like Skip McGrath's website, and he was talking about he bundled a Play School Alfie with some, you know, Play School Alfie cards. And so you know, I was going through one of the Goodwills or something, and I saw this Play School Alfie, so I picked him up. He wasn't brand new, he was used, but I picked him up, made some money off him, off a used Alfie. Type that in on your Google search if you want to, or your, you know, Amazon, you know, app. Type in Play School Alfie, and it's ALPHIE, and you can see even the used ones sell very well. Usually I pick up maybe one a week. So again, that's not something I'm killing it on, but when you pay $1.99, you know, the shipping, all that stuff, you're still making money. So keep that in mind. And that's just one toy. There's other toys as well, and just, you know, be on the lookout for stuff like that. I'm just trying to give you an example of, you know, how I got into selling used toys, but used toys are very profitable. Remember, a little over $118,000 in profit in 2016 selling stuff from thrift store. So just keep that in mind. You can make some good money. Kitchen items. I bought 2 items actually. My glass is starting to bug me. Anyway, bought 2 items. The first item that I bought was it's the Cocoa Motion. It makes hot cocoa or whatever. But I bought one of those. I picked that up for, what did I pick that up for? $6.99, I believe. It sold for $147, something like that. So that was another great item. Couple things that I've done. A few Keurigs. I don't sell them anymore because there's been a lot of issues with them. So I don't sell Keurigs anymore. One thing I do sell, and I've been selling them a lot lately, are the Soda Stream. I actually just merchant fulfilled one this afternoon. I bought it for, I think this one I bought for $4.99. Didn't come with any flavors. Came with half the carbonation, thing. And I sold it for $142.95, I believe. So I ended up making some good money on that one. That's kitchen items. Free stuff. How do you get free stuff at a thrift store? It's very easy. You ask them if there's anything that they don't want, anything they're throwing away, anything that they just pulled off the floor. Maybe because they lost a piece. Maybe because it's not complete, or they can't figure out how to test it. They don't know how to price it. There's so many reasons. Maybe they have too many books, so they just put all these books in a pile and they're just throwing them away, gonna recycle them. Go and get those. They're free. How can you beat free? You can't. Okay? Go get them. Throw them in your car. Take them home. Take them to your office, wherever you do all your listing and research and all that. Scan them there. If it's free, pick it up, haul it, back to your home, and scan it there. Don't turn away free stuff, because free stuff can be very profitable. Now, if you get, let's say, 500 books, and you go through the first 250 and there's nothing profitable, at that point, or before 250, for me personally, if I went through 100 of the books and nothing was profitable, it was just all garbage, and I got 500 books, I'd probably take all 500 and just send them to Goodwill. I'd just donate them. Okay? Because for me, I value time. Time is one of the most valuable things that I have. So that is one thing I would do. Now, if you don't value your time as much as I do, then you can go and do something completely different. Okay? If you want to scan all 500 books, go for it. Hire somebody to do it if you want to. I could do the exact same thing, but again, my employee, I value her time a lot more than, $20 an hour, $15 an hour. To me, her value is probably about $200 to $250 per hour is what I get out of her. So if she can't do that, then it's like, we don't need to be scanning the books, or we don't need to be scanning the VHS tapes, or going through these electronics that might not even be profitable. They might not even work. But we're going to see. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Always figure out your value. If you don't know your value, you don't know what you're worth per hour, figure it out. Okay? Because there's tasks. I guarantee you're doing a task right now. Maybe not right now if you're watching this video, but you've done a task in the last 24 hours, or you're going to do a task in the next 24 hours. That is not up to your standard. You should not be doing it, because you're way more valuable than that. Next thing, ask for discounts. I've said this many times. I even did a video, I think I did a Periscope video on it as well, where I went to a Goodwill store and I told them, I want everything in that case. Give me the best deal you can. I want everything in that case. And it was a case full of just like electronics, some beauty stuff, like it was all brand new stuff. But it was all back in the case. I want to know what was the best deal you can give me on that stuff. In the end, they end up coming down 65% on everything. And so I didn't scan anything. I just said, I want everything in that case. What's the best deal you can give me? 65% off is what we agreed on. I bought it all. Ended up paying about $1,100, maybe a little less than that. Maybe it was around $100,000. I don't remember. It's been a while ago. But let's say about $1,000, and I ended up profiting a little over $2,400 on that lot. Okay, just to walk in and be like, hey, I want everything in that case. What will you sell that to me for? What's the best deal I can get? I'll take it all. Okay, right now, I've been to that thrift store probably it's a good one. I've been to it probably about 4 times since then, since I made that deal. They have not had a case. They got rid of their entire case. I bought that whole thing, I probably could have bought the glass case. It didn't, but I probably could have. But ask for discounts, okay? Another thing, some Goodwills, some thrift stores will accept a reseller's certificate or reseller's permit, the tax exempt, tax free. So make sure if they accept it, you use it if you have one. Another thing, some stores that have frequent shoppers will give you a discount. Some of them are only 10, maybe 15%, but you'll get a discount. Some have discount cards. Some, if you're, let's say, their most valuable customer or something, and I've had this happen to me before, where you get 50% every time you go in. 50% off. So when I spend $200 and I'm making money at $200 and then they give me 50% off, so I'm only spending $100, that's a great deal. Okay, ask for discounts. Maybe there's something that's missing, a toy, or it hasn't been tested. It's like, I'm not gonna pay $39.99 for this, printer that hasn't been tested. But Goodwill, or maybe that thrift store, they have a 7-day return policy where if it doesn't work, you can bring it back and you get that credited to an account that you can use in the store. So either way, maybe it's $39.99, but like, well, it doesn't work. It's never been tested. I don't know. Would you do $29? Would you do $25? And bargain with them. Ask for discounts. That's how I make so much money. I don't spend a whole lot of money when I go into a thrift store, but I guarantee you I'm making a whole lot of money. I value my time as one of the most important things that right now that I have. So you should too. But yeah. You stand back so you look at that one more time. If you have any questions on that, let me know. I know there's probably other resellers out there that make a lot more than almost $120,000 in profit, but it's only part of my business. Okay, so if you guys have any questions and want to know any answers, some of the stuff that I've been buying, what I look for, you probably come up with questions just watching the video. So let me know what your questions are in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel by now, make sure you click the button subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.